Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom,
And I am Mike.
and today we're cracking open a new bottle of Bulleit Bourbon, bottled and bond, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So this one I'm kind of excited to try because I do believe this is the first time Bulleit actually is using their own distillate because they always source before then. So we'll get into the particulars so I can get this in my face. So this one comes in at 100 proof. We get it for $52.99. Now it's non-age stated, but being a bottle and bond, it has to be a minimum of 4 years. And this one happens to save it from the 2017 distillation series or whatever it was on the bottle it says. So this is distilled by Bulleit Frontier Whiskey. It's bottled at Bardstown, Kentucky, out of Shelbyville, Kentucky. And again, like I said, I do believe, and you can quote me if I'm wrong, that this is the first actual distillate of their own that they've used because they used to source it beforehand. So kind of curious to see what it tastes like.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so this is relatively new on there. So it doesn't say on a bottle how old it actually
It
is.
didn't say Jack on a bottle.
No, so I have no
Really?
idea, but I mean, it's got a nice color.
It does have
So-
a nice color.
But they were always sourced.
It actually has a nice nose.
You guys will know who they're sourced from normally. But, ooh. Hold on a minute. I'm going to be smelling glass.
No, I got a pretty decent nose.
Okay, there you go. I was smelling more glass than whiskey.
And no crazy fruitness that we had yesterday.
Yeah, no.
I don't mind a nose.
Actually, today would be April Fool's Day, actually. So happy April Fool's Day.
And no joke to us.
Yeah.
Mm. We should probably look around.
Mm. Oh, it's got a little spice to it for only be 100 proof.
It sticks in your neck.
That's what I mean. Like it pop rocked a lot on my tongue when I was rolling
I
it
didn't.
around.
Yeah, I
in there.
didn't swish. I just.
Yeah, I did.
I just did a big swish, and it sits right in your neck.
Like it doesn't have the mash bill on there on the bottle. So
Nothing.
no.
I couldn't even find a proof other than I knew it was bottle and bond, so I knew it was 100. That was
Right.
about it.
I'm getting a nose here, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm smelling. 'Cause it's not like a
It definitely
traditional caramel. Yeah, no, yeah.
It definitely has a. This would make it this. So the bars tend to go to this as their like high end.
Mhm.
Well, the mediocre bars, and that would make a great mixer.
You're up in the $52 range though for a bottle, so I don't know how much they want to do.
Isn't
for-
Bulleit already there?
I don't think so. The cask strengths are, but I think the lower proof ones aren't. I don't think they're that high.
They usually typically don't serve 100 a lot either.
No,
Wild turkey.
it has a nice that pop rocky feel on your tongue. It smells.
I'm enjoying it actually.
Well, I'm trying to get it. It's.
I got like a caramel-esque here.
Do you? Because I'm leaning almost more towards like a peanut shell, like a peanut.
I'm not really getting nut.
You're not getting that. Go figure. Because every time you do, I don't. But I'm leaning more towards that than like a caramel.
So it's mine's like a fruity caramel kind of.
Mm.
It's almost like a taffy. You know when you have the taffy when it's spinning and it has that. I don't know. I don't think they have it.
I don't do taffy. So
You never
no.
looked at it in a window?
Well, you lived around it. No. Where am I going to look at it around here? The only time I've probably seen
I've
it.
probably seen it 2,000 times.
But I don't think it was always that. Every time I walked by, when I would go visit you to move, it was they would be making fudge. They had one of them fudge table things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I like the nose.
The nose is bringing me. I don't want to. It's a cross between like the peanut shells and the wet hay, but I don't want you to take it in the wrong way. Like it has almost like a
the
vegetal.
middle, right before you end finish, you may get a slight nut.
Mhm.
there. I'm not getting crazy oak.
Mm-mm.
It's a little sweet to start, and then maybe a light nut, and then I don't really mind this.
No, there's
It's
nothing that I dislike about it.
I'm not I
I
don't
could go with that. As far as flavor wise, it's not a. I can't really say a huge caramel presence. I'm trying to get it. It has a hint of a nut flavor, which I like. I actually like it. It drinks above its proof. I think not in a bad way. Like at
I
100
wonder
proof, I
almost
think
if this is like a 6-7 year. Then I know it has to be a minimum of 4,
it
but
does. Yeah, it's not a stated, and it was from
right.
2017,
So I mean,
it
it
could be
just came out. So
right.
I mean, they wouldn't have held it in a box,
I would assume not.
you know.
Right.
So
It might have some years behind it because it does say, I'm 90% sure I got that off the bottle, that it was from the 2017.
it's got a nice nose.
Yeah, see, from 2017 distillation season. So if it has been, and now it's 2025 and it just came out, I mean, it's upwards of the years. It has a nice color. It's not a huge oaky presence on there,
No.
but it has a nice taste.
But
actually,
after your first sip, too,
I definitely get nuts now.
it is. I am getting nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But it chilled out too. It's not
Mm-mm.
cracking like it was. It's actually a pretty nice drink.
It was never hot. It was
No.
just throwing some elbows, but not in a bad way, like in an Ezra way, where it's a little bit
Pop rocky. It did stick around that way. Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't drink smooth as silk. It was being a little aggressive, but at 100 proof, I like a little aggressive. When
I'm
it's
with
130 proof, you don't want all the aggression, but at that proof, I kind of like it. So, I guess the elephant in the room, 100 proof, $52. But you know what though? If I'm being honest, you're gonna put your memory bank on because you've been gone for 3.5 months. But the last Sunday Fun Day we did was Remus Repeal, and I think every one of these beat that. And this is 100 proof. You know what I mean? Because none of the Remus, remember at the end we were kind of like they're just okay. Like none of them were good, and they were all $100 and something. You know what I mean?
No, that is the downfall.
Yeah,
it is okay, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah, because you're right. So I mean, it's half the money. It's the same exact proof. I think a couple of them are 101, but still, you're right at the same proof. I mean, this is solid. If Mike didn't drink all my Wild Turkey 101, I see how it would do against something a little bit cheaper. But we're definitely gonna have to put this in a bottle and bond blind or 100 proof.
I don't know. I may have 101.
I killed it. I killed it.
I might have it at
the
the house. There is a good nut finish now.
Yeah, no. The more this keeps opening up, I'm definitely getting. That's why I was like,
this is actually a pretty nice flavor. This is not. I could be B plus A minus in here and be quite content.
I like that. I'm torn with.
I don't remember what we gave Remus. I can't imagine it was higher than that.
I don't even know if we graded them back then when we were doing it. To be honest, because they've been around for a while now.
We just had one though, didn't we? Didn't we just have one in a blind or in a?
No, we just did the three.
Yeah,
we just did all three of them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Going back to the Sunday before you went on vacation, we did the 3 Remus, and none of them were as good as this. Is what I'm thinking off of memory. They were all just okay. And we paid twice the amount of money.
I'm actually, the nose is pretty decent, and the flavors, it's not a malted ride, but it has like a little sweetness to a nut, to just a nice ending flavor. No after blah blah blah, and I guess your viscosity, it doesn't really stick around a long time, but again, it's 100 proof,
right?
So
it doesn't like the Pop Rocky sticks around, not so much the flavor,
correct,
but there is residue that stays in your mouth. But the one thing I'll give it is, one of my comments I say about a certain brand all the time is when you roll it on a tongue, it breaks and it changes flavor, and you get that grassy. You don't get any of that. It just stays. Your flavor stays throughout. So even if you're rolling it on your tongue, it doesn't break and get weird.
When you do swish it though, then it definitely sticks around.
I'm thinking in my head, if we did this totally blind, I'm like, no, this has got to be like 108, 110, like it, because the Pop Rock stays on. It has a nice spice to it. I should have looked up to see. I think I looked at a couple places to see what the actual mash bill was, but I won't be shocked if this is like a high rye bourbon. You know what I mean?
I would probably tend to agree with you on that. And then the only other, I was thinking like the Woodfords and all that, but they're 92s, somewhere around there, and they're cheaper. So
And then 90.4 because that's what Woodford's number is.
Yeah, I was
But-
thinking the Woodford and what was the other one? Not regular Elijah, but there was. It'll come to me. But
That are at 100. Well, I'm thinking in my head. We recently did the Still Austin. We're gonna put 100 proof. Well, I'm gonna put 100 proof line. We're gonna let this guy open up a little bit, and we'll see where it lands. You know what I mean? Because as it keeps changing in the glass, and it's getting a little bit more complex every time. Like in the beginning, I was smelling glass. There's no more smelling glass out of this. It definitely started that peanut in a shell started opening up to me, and I actually really like this. I do like you know
this.
what? I don't have a problem with an A-. That's actually.
I think it's gonna grow. I think it's gonna hold its own there.
It keeps getting better in the glass, and granted, you know, everything can't be 140 proof. You know what I mean? But A-, I think this would hang. I think this is going to do well in a blind.
And you know what? Well, hell, we've had a few that were 100 and something for that 100 proof.
No, I understand it. That's what kudos to them.
This is to me. I'm content with this. This is
I think it's the exception because I know I've said it in past reviews where I said, you know, Bulleit is always just okay. It doesn't wow you. It doesn't it doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make this is actually it stands up a little notch above what I normally think of what a Bulleit product was. I would love to see what their cash strength was. Their actual cash strength.
When you said it to me, I'm like, you bought it because I know the review wasn't like overwhelming.
No, because
but then again, I just bought one that we've never really had a great review, and I'm sure you went. Really?
I say that about some of the ones you buy all the time. I kind of be like, oh, here we go again. But no, honestly, with this, I mean, to me, this is one of the ones like this is this good at 100 proof. I would love to see it at what it was at cask strength, where you get that much more intense flavor and taste.
It would probably be
at this price. You know, granted, there's cheaper stuff out there, but you know what? I want to put a little mix of it. You know, I'll break out the early times
a little
too.
marshmallow right here now.
Yeah. It is 100% changing in the glass.
It is. I always have like a little marshmallow, which that would attribute my sweetness to start, and then
in the back of my head, I'm thinking Knob Creek because I'm getting that nut.
That was the other one I couldn't.
Oh, is that the one you couldn't think of?
That I'm sitting here looking because I'm looking at that, and then I was stuck.
We don't have a Knob 9 anymore, but that's what it's really bringing me to a Knob 9.
Isn't that 92?
No, that's 100.
Okay, so I know in my head I was thinking what I wanted, but it did.
We don't have one anymore because it's one of them ones that because it kind of carries the same. That would be a good comparison.
It's probably nuttier a little bit, but I don't even know if it has the sweetness in the noses as this though. It's been a while since we had regular Knob.
I haven't had a Knob 9 in a long time. The only one we got
left, the
only one I have left is the 18, and I'm saving it just for a blind because there's only like this much left in it. But well, there you go. That's our review. Again, any comments, leave them down below. If you guys haven't tried this, I mean, this is one of the few Bulleits I would actually highly recommend give it a shot. For this price.
The problem being how much is it out there, I guess.
It's relatively new, so I don't know. That's where you guys come in. Leave a comment down below if you guys have access to this and what you guys are paying for.
Is it behind the glass for, $140?
I don't think so. Usually Bulleit never is, though. Bulleit's usually priced decently. Even their cash
every now and then something
I
falls
know.
back there.
I know. So, well, you'll have your random place, but I'm guessing this will be around. You know what I mean? So,
I would jump on this. I would try it.
Yeah, because it's not outrageous money, and it is actually really good.
No, because it does change. This nose is getting better and better.
Especially, I mean, we recently just did the Booker's. This is like a low proof. It's got that nuttiness and that flavor. You know what I mean? It brings me to them two products, like the Knob or where it brings that nuttiness out.
Knob is what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, that's what popped into my head when I was drinking
Makers kept going through my head, and I'm like, I know it's not a weeder, it's not a Makers, so I was like. That's why I look lost in space. But
so there you go. This is the Bulleit Bourbon Frontier Whiskey, bottled and bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Again, I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below, and I would definitely, I like your A-. This is solid. There's nothing that I dislike about this.
It would be a buy for me because you could sit and chill and this is nice.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.